In past cons and recently, there have been reports of sexual assault against cosplayers. How do you feel about that? The phrasing, cosplay is not consent, has come up quite a lot lately.
Well, a lot of people think it's only like the girls that actually get harassed, but as guys, like, we get harassed a lot too, especially like when I do my Iron Man thing. I have a lot of girls that, you know, they want to come up and like hug me and stuff like that, and like I'm okay with that and stuff, but sometimes it does get like a little weird, so I do like when people like ask me ahead of time. But yeah, it's definitely a big issue, and especially with cosplay becoming more and more popular throughout like the entire country, so you just gotta watch out for it. You gotta respect the cosplayers.
Almost every woman, and I'm sure you've experienced it as well, you'll agree that at one point somebody has made a remark at you, hey girl, hey. Like that is, I am not a dog. Okay, so I agree that that is not consent anywhere. Anywhere you go, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. Now, me at conventions, I've actually never experienced that. But I think what a woman wears should not dictate how somebody reacts to her. I know people are going to disagree with me, but that's how it is. And it's the same with men. There are so many shirtless guys here today. Like maybe for free, which is the swimming anime. Yeah. They are not for free. You have to get to know them.
Well, unfortunately, our group has experienced such things before. Me, as well as one of our other characters, Makoto, have received inappropriate touching without our consent before. We're generally okay with it if it's asked. We generally provide fan service and do poses with you, but we do ask, to ask of us. And there is the idea of the double standard. It's a little bit weird, but both male and female cosplayers have the right to consent. And I would ask that congoers be both female and female asked that of us before doing anything. And I feel like most cosplayers are willing to do the fan service and have fun, but it's just let us know.
I actually just had an incident right when I'm walking in. A guy, I love taking pictures. It shows, people recognize the hard work we put into it. And you know what? Yeah, I got a little rump in the trunk, but that doesn't mean you can just sit there. And I specifically say no when you're all up in the area trying to take pictures. I don't want that kind of photography anyway. And I feel for girls especially because we want to enjoy ourselves. It's not our... Sorry, they're sexy, they're cute. We think it look nice on our body. We want to look sexy in them, and we want to do the cosplay that we love from characters we love. But when people are coming at us all the time, it makes it super uncomfortable. And it is a nice part about conventions where you do have that like very open and shameless atmosphere almost. But we're also mingling with the regular crowd, and there's always the creepers around. It can be very aggravating, I gotta say. But if you gotta understand, we're doing it because we love cosplay. We're doing it because we love the fandom. We're the same just as you. We're just being a little skimpier, I guess.
It's a matter of something that this country is sadly not taught anymore, and that is common sense, common courtesy. So we're all human beings. Some of us, like myself, are greater than others, and we gladly and rightfully look down on the rest of you. As far as the rest of you mortals, show a little self-respect to not only to yourself, but respect yourself by respecting other people.
Last year at New York Comic Con, I actually had to use the sexual harassment app in this costume because it was, and two males were ejected from the con because of it. So it was just, the cons, all cons need to almost have an app like that, and I praise New York Comic Con for having it because I just got back from San Diego and they don't nearly have the protection for cosplayers that a lot of other cons do.
Like sometimes you just have sexy anime characters and you're just playing the part, but it's important that you be polite and respectful and make everyone feel all right,
My next cosplay tomorrow is Juliet Starling from Lollipop Chainsaw, which is a very revealing costume, and that sexual assault is terrifying and it can ruin your life. As someone who's been sexually assaulted, it is awful. It can just damage you completely, and to do that to someone when they're dressing up to have fun is such an awful thing, and it could just ruin someone's life.
Just because you're wearing a revealing cosplay or something from an anime that's very sexualized doesn't mean that you're consenting to people touching you and running up to you and anything like that. And it's definitely something you have to agree to. If someone walks up to you, can I get a picture? It's not just something you run up to and it can be seen and taken very badly.
Just because somebody's dressed, has certain aspects out in a cosplay, it doesn't mean that you get to, talk to them inappropriately, touch them especially. It's, you have to ask permission and, be respectful, use common sense.
I guess when I first got into this, it was maybe it was a little under the radar, and I didn't hear much of that happening. Now you've got all kinds of people coming to the cons, and the incidents of unwanted touching and stuff has gotten, I haven't witnessed it. If I did, I'd step in and stop it, or report it as, if there was somebody to report it to. The thing is, respect. People come and they got to realize we're just costuming, and if something's sexy, that doesn't mean that somebody's permissive or anything. They're doing a costume they love, and you have no right to touch or even take pictures without asking.
So people don't realize that just because you dressed up doesn't mean you're on display. It can take a creepy glance or a camera shoot that goes too low or too far to be unacceptable.
My number one rule at any convention is to never make anyone feel uncomfortable. We're all here just to have a good time.
I feel like cosplay is not consent, it's just a part of a bigger issue. Just perpetuating that, the idea that a woman has no say in the fact that, or a man, okay, not to be sexist, somebody shouldn't be touched or harassed no matter what they're wearing. So even if it's Riku or a full body armor of suit, or, actually one of my male cosplayer friends, Sev Cosplay, he does a lot of shirtless stuff, and people will come up and rub his arms, and it's just not cool. You wanna ask somebody before you do that kind of stuff.
If you see somebody who's wearing something that's, it's showing a lot of skin or something, that doesn't mean that you can go up to them and mess around with them. So definitely, I think it's good that people are reminded of that, and that, they take better judgment when they deal with cosplayers.
Just last night, actually, me and my friends were walking back from the rave, and this group of guys came off the street and surrounded her and started trying to take pictures and stuff of her, and even just saying things is not okay. You didn't ask to be said things just because you're wearing something that might be a little revealing or whatnot. So yeah, I would just travel in groups, even though you hope people do the right thing, but you never know.
I'm a firm believer that if you do not know them, don't even if you want to hug, even just ask. Don't walk up to them, just touch people, because people don't like to be touched. I personally don't like to be touched, mainly because I'm always sweaty, or I have body makeup, or my costume is really, really delicate. This is all foam. If you run up and jump on top of me, everything is gonna break and fall off, because hot glue can only go so far, you know what I mean?
We kind of bring guys with us just so they can stand around us and make sure that we're not accosted very often. I actually rode the train here, and I had to wear a dress over top of this so that people wouldn't say anything or do anything to me. And when we got here, there were a few people that did that to our friend. I mean, she basically they were grabbing her in the chest and the butt, and they were taking pictures of just her butt, and it was just it's just not appropriate. It's not really welcome. We're a character, not just specific body parts.
If you are a consenting adult and someone approaches you, you have an agreement, that's fine, but just because you have a cosplay that's more revealing does not mean that you're open for business.
For you?
I think it comes down to the fact that basically people just think that if a girl wears something cute or sexy or showing a little bit of skin, that means she wants it. That's not true. I'm wearing this, and there's only one person I want to sleep with, and that's my boyfriend.
It would just be going up to someone who's dressed provocatively in public and just touching them inappropriately or saying something that shouldn't be said. So it's kind of taking a normal person and just putting them in a convention. There's no difference.
I really feel bad about that, because sometimes I have to have my friends behind me so random people don't come touching me. It's a real thing.
Actually, I did have somewhat of an incident today where a guy wanted to take a picture, and he just grabbed me, put his hand around my waist without asking, and that's a very big no-no for me. And I pushed him off, and I basically lectured him and told him, look, in the future, I told him you can't do this to me, but in the future, if you want to take a picture with a female, you need to ask them first. Some of them will say yes, some of them will say no, but you just need to know for the future, just ask.
No means no. Just ask.
You should always ask if you can take a picture. You should always ask if you can touch something like a prop.
You have no right to put your hands on anybody if they don't ask.
You have to ask, hey, can I take a picture? Hey, can I, you ask, and then, see where it goes from there.
I feel in general, anytime you're asking a stranger if you can take a picture, you do need to be courteous of what you're asking the person to do. Are you asking them to pose in a way that makes them uncomfortable? Always asking if it's okay to take a photo or a video is just manners to me, so I find that cosplay does not equal consent is a good concept in the sense of everyone just needs to be polite when you're asking to take a picture of someone's really hard work, and is certainly respecting them if they choose to do a design that is a little more showy. There's certainly some shows out there and games and all sorts of stuff that have very risque designs and stuff, but cosplayers choose to do them because they either love the series, they think it's a lot of fun, or they really want to challenge their crafting skills.
People are here to have fun. All right, I'm here to enjoy this. Do you think I would like it if somebody came up and like tried rubbing all over my chest or something like that, or my belly, and I didn't know them? It's a little weird. Now, if it's something like a character interacting with a character, now, yeah, we've all seen Kill la Kill, Mako, and Rukia. We've all seen some of that, but seriously, if you're here and you see somebody in a costume, they put that together because they want to be here. They love that character. They're not here as eye candy for you. Keep your hands to yourself, all right? All right, seriously. You wouldn't want somebody randomly grabbing you on the street. What makes it any different here?